Praise the Lord. Hallelujah. Welcome again to our Wednesday 15 minutes podcast. Remember, we started this series of teaching 2 weeks ago. We are now in the third week. 3 weeks ago, we are now in the third week. Today is Wednesday. And I want you to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I will not be able to run through what I've said in about 7 episodes. It's practically impossible. But do you know what? If you subscribe to my YouTube channel by pressing on subscription button, then a bell comes out. You press on the bell, and then you're a subscriber. This essential you press on the bell. You know why? Because each time the podcast is ready, YouTube will always send you a notification, and then you can always follow us up on our 15 minutes podcast. Okay, so we started a series of teaching by taking a text from Proverbs 23 verse 7 that says, "As he thinketh in his heart, so is he." Now, Proverbs, Solomon just told you about the man, and he said that what you see in the physical life of that man is a product of his thought life. So meaning that your thought life will always dominate your physical life. I've explained that extensively. You really need to watch it. Listen to me. What you are going through now is not unconnected with your thought life. The economy may be bad, but the problem is not the economy. The problem is your thought life. Now, and as also said, the second part of that is that Solomon was not writing. Solomon was not writing to the man that he described in Proverbs 23 verse 7 that says, "For as he thinketh in his heart, so is he." No. From verses 6 to 8, which I read, from verses 6 to from verse 6, he said, from verse 6 to 8, which he said, from verse 6 to 8, which Solomon said, he said, "Don't eat with selfish people. Control any desire you have for their finest foods. They might tell you to eat and drink all you want, but they don't really mean it. They are the kind of people who are only thinking about the cost. And if you eat their food, you will get sick and be embarrassed." Now, that is not an advice to the man. That is an advice to me. Now, meaning that if I eat the man's food, I will throw away. I will throw off. So if I throw off, it means that the food was no benefit to my physical flesh. And if it's no benefit to my physical flesh, then it means that I'll be affected physically. So now, meaning that the problem is not coming from me. The problem is coming from the man. Where was it coming from? Not from the delicacy, because what I'm eating is a delicacy. It is his thought life. His thought life is affecting me. Now, I may not throw off physically, but you see, in the spiritual life, in the spiritual realm, I've thrown off. So in the physical, I will never benefit from what I'm actually supposed to benefiting from the man. So meaning that if you are not careful who is assisting you in life, if they have evil eyes, as King James Version said it, or as New Living Translation says, stingy man. I listen to me now. Even if they are assisting you in physical life, you will not see the benefit of their assistance. Why? Because they are always thinking about what it cost them to assist you. I told you about somebody who I was with. Somebody called him. He refused to pick their call, and I said, "Why are you not picking the call?" He said, No. These people, they are always disturbing me. I don't want it. I now said to myself, I have equally called him severally. He didn't pick his call. Now, meaning that what I saw him did with that person is the same thing that he does with me. Now, listen to this. When God gave me this understanding, I became careful with such people. You know why? Listen to me. Even if they give you 1 million naira, you will not produce anything reasonable with it. You know why? Because words are containers. Words are containers. Jesus said, the words that I speak unto you, they are spirit and they are lives. Jesus said, it is the spirit that quickeneth, the flesh profited nothing. So the words I speak to you, they are spirit and they are life. So now if that person is talking from the flesh, you will not profit. You won't profit from whatever they are giving to you. You won't profit. Because they are given from their flesh. But you see, but if they give from their spirit man, which is their heart, because the Bible extend mind, spirit, and heart. If it's coming from their heart, you profit. So that's why Jesus said, the word that I speak unto you, they are spirit. So words are containers. Words are containers. When people speak, listen to me. The man who invited you to a dinner and is telling you, "Aboy, eat the chicken, eat the turkey, eat the fat, eat everything." He said, "Are you not going to drink?" He said, "Drink the five alive. Drink this alive. Drink." Listen to me. But in his heart, he said, I pray that this boy will say is full already. This thing costs a lot of money. Now, that is his thoughts. Now, how does that affect you? Now, listen to me. Every time you are with him, he's always talking stingy. He's always saying, things are very expensive. It costs to do this. It's cost to do that. He's always grumbling and complaining. And the same person is telling him, "No, what do? Eat." Say, "Drink." Don't listen to him. But listen to me. If you keep feeding on that man, it will affect you negatively. It will affect you negatively. It might not sound reasonable to you, but listen to me. The spirit realm controls the physical realm. Words are spirits. Listen to me. The man is thinking about it that you should not eat more. Do you know what? The way he complained to you about others. He said, the other time we invited that family, you see the way they were eating our food, as if we are not working for that money. Listen to me. Even you at your own back is saying the same thing. Now, when those words come out of his mouth, it means that they are coming out of his heart. You will become what is in his heart. Now, meaning that what he was telling you, eat was not coming from his heart. It was coming from his head. Now, listen to this. It will affect you. That is the principle that Solomon is communicating. So words are spirits. We should be careful with them. Okay, a sex monarch. Let me continue. A sex monarch is first one in his thoughts. In his thought. Before he becomes one in real life. In real life. And hanging around them all the time will turn you to become their thoughts. Watch who is your friend before you become what they are in life. You know why I'm saying this, why I'm teaching, saying this, is that I've seen people who enter friendship. They were very decent people at the beginning. And then somebody asks for their hands in friendship. And they know that the person is promiscuous. And they say, no, I will control myself. That I'm a virgin, I will never allow that to happen to me, blah, blah, blah. And you know, before you know what's going on, they got into it. I've heard people said, that the spirit on that person influenced the other person. That you begin to live the same life they are living. Yes, they are correct. They are correct. When you understand where Proverbs was coming from, when Proverbs said, as he thinketh in his heart, so is he. So is he. Listen to me. A sex monarch in real life is a sex monarch in his thought life. A sex monarch in real life is a sex monarch in their thought life. They are first of all sex monarch in their thoughts. before they become it in the life. That's why Jesus said that if you look lustfully at a woman in your heart, you've already committed it in your heart. How do you describe masturbation? That is how masturbation happens. Masturbation is something that is an imagination in the mind. And then in the physical life, you see yourself also releasing. You see yourself also releasing. You see yourself also releasing. So you got to understand a thought life. Now, the reason why I'm saying this is because, listen to me. If you want to break off from masturbation, you will need a change of thought. And this is how the principle works. This is how the principle works. When you see, that's why you cannot spend time watching pornography or watching adult films, and then you wonder why you are loose. It's very simple. Now listen to me. If it finds its way into your thoughts and you entertain the thought, you become it in real life. Remember the story I told you at the beginning of a rope walker who spent 2 weeks meditating, who spent 2 weeks meditating, seeing himself falling off and dying. He eventually fell off and died. The same thing also, you see, you spend time meditating about an individual. You see yourself in romance with. Jesus said, if you think lustfully after a woman, you've already committed the sin. Now that's what Jesus is saying. Because listen, let me tell you, it's as good as been done. Because you are just your thought. You are just a thought. So a sex maniac is first one in his thought before he becomes one in real life. Do you get what I'm talking about that? And then, now let's look at the second part of what we have been teaching in that Proverbs. I said, and hanging around them all the time will turn you to become their thoughts. Watch who is your friend before you become what they are in life. So that's why sometimes people say, okay, I was not like that until I became a friend with him. Now, because listen to me, they keep saying the word. And words are spirits. Words are spirits. So the spirit, their words are containers. As they are speaking, they are releasing it. And you see, you also become their thought. So avoid serious friendship with anyone or invitation from anyone who is always counting costs negatively. They never achieve greatness in their life. And before, you know what? I just run out of time right now. But you see, I'm not out of series yet. So on Friday, I'll be tidying up this whole entire thing. So from here, I want to tell you that Jesus Christ is Lord. And I will see you in our Friday 15 minutes podcast.